Hey, what's happening, everybody? It's your old pal Mr. Butter coming back at you. Recently, a pair of Jordan 1 mids caught my eye. If you're familiar with the channel, you know that I don't hate on mids. I actually like quite a few of them. This colorway in particular reminded me of a Jordan 1 high that I struck out on, but I ended up really wanting. If you're into kicks and you feel like hanging out, then hit that subscribe button. Let's take a look at these French blue Jordan 1 mids. Alright, so nothing new about the box. This is the same thing we're used to getting. This is actually an SE. I first saw these on GOAT. I put an offer up for $90. This is a GS size 7, but that's the same as a men's size 7. I got a lot of kids in the family. I got nephews, a couple of kids myself that can wear this size. So I just thought with Christmas coming and all that, I'd go ahead and grab a size 7 and see how they looked in hand. The tag reads Air Jordan 1 Mid SE grade school. And like I said, that's a size 7, which is the same as a men's size 7. The colors are French blue, fire red, and white. And I first saw these on GOAT. I put an offer up of $90 and it ended up getting accepted. They are actually available on the Nike app right now. They don't have adult sizes, but I've seen adult sizes on GOAT. So if you're interested in this shoe, I don't know if adult sizes are available in the US yet. However, on GOAT they're available, but they're selling for like 150s, 160s. It's a little high for a mid in my opinion. But that being said, I actually saved money getting these on GOAT because with my offer being $90 and then with fees and everything, I ended up having less than 120 all into them. And on the Nike app right now, these cost 120 even just for the GS sizes. That $120 price tag is definitely more than what we're used to seeing the price being for Jordan 1 mids, especially in a grade school size at least. However, these materials are much better than what we typically get on Jordan 1 mids. The base leather does have a little bit of a synthetic feel, but it is softer than most leather on Jordan 1 mids. And then for all these overlays that really give it that hyper royal Jordan 1 high vibe, it's this nice suede, and you can tell they used, like, it looks like a blue jean dye almost, but it really has that same effect that you had on the hyper royal Jordan 1 highs. And the material feels decent. It looks really nice and it feels pretty decent. So I can understand why the price tag was a little bit more expensive. The materials are a little bit better than what we're used to seeing. They came with these navy blue flat laces already in the shoes, and also with a spare of flat red laces. And my daughters said that they would put the red laces in there for some extra pop. You can see that on the Wings logo, we have more of that red, as well as on the tongue with the Jumpman and the Air branding. But first impressions, these are nice. These are really nice. I know mids get a lot of hate. People say, oh, the quality sucks or whatever. But I wear them as beaters, and a lot of times I like grabbing mids of colorways that I struck out on the highs for. And this is a perfect example because I was not able to get the Hyper Royals, and these definitely give me that same vibe as the Hyper Royal Jordan 1 high. Taking a look at this outsole, you can see it's a standard Jordan 1 tread pattern. It's kind of in this opaque, foggy, translucent material. It reminds me of the Jubilee outsole. It's just kind of foggy, but the tread pattern is very familiar. We see that on all ones. I really like the color of this translucent material though on the outsole. Nike branding at the midfoot, pivot point there at the front. And then if we look from the side, we can see that translucent material on the outsole meets a bright white midsole with bright white stitching. Just nice and clean these colors are. I think that the gray swoosh really ties in that milky, foggy, translucent outsole. I think it coordinates really well. But then coming up from that bright white midsole, this is my favorite material on the shoe. Just all these overlays of suede. You can see it's a nice thick cut, and it is a pretty decent material. It doesn't feel super synthetic or anything. And you can tell it looks like it was just like a natural color or like a gray or something. And they just used like an indigo or blue jean dye to kind of give it this neat faded effect. I will say though, just in me touching it a little bit, I can already see the dye on my fingers. So you probably would want to be mindful of that if you were wearing some like really light pants or something. I bet this color will transfer to your other clothes if it's rubbing up against it. But that being said, I love this suede overlay with this kind of distressed blue dye finish. And we have that on the mud guard, going up the eye stays, wrapping around here at the top of the back, and then wrapping around at the base of the heel. And that stitching is all kind of like a darker blue. It kind of matches the laces and the sock liner. And I really like the way that the stitching pops on those panels. But then for the base of the shoe, we've just got this bright white synthetic leather. It's really smooth, doesn't have any texture. And even though it is synthetic, it feels softer than the norm for Jordan 1 mids. And I'm not saying that it's a good material at all, but it does feel soft. It doesn't feel like it'll crease and then have a real definitive line down the toe box or anything. It feels like it is pliable and it's soft. I think these will be comfortable, and I just think that they look really, really good. But then aside from that synthetic white leather, for the swooshes we have a synthetic gray leather, and that's smooth as well, no texture on that. The tongue is a bright white tongue, and it's a standard nylon material. There's no tag at the top. The branding is just kind of stitched on there in that nice bright red stitching. And the piping going along the tongue is this nice dark blue like we have for the laces and the sock liner. The sock liner is kind of the old school type sock liner, and it reminds me of what we had in like Jordan 185s and that sort of thing. Also like the stealth gray Jordan 1 mids that I reviewed not too long ago. It's just got a nice feel. It's kind of heavy duty. It's not super soft and silky, but I like having this for my sock liner. And that's in a navy color. Down on the insole, that's also in that navy color, and you have a bright white Jumpman. That was just a really quick look at these. I really like them. If I could get them in an adult size for retail, I would probably do that. I'm not sure how much retail for an adult size would be, since the grade school pairs are retailing at $120. So the price is a little bit higher, but I struck out on the Hyper Royal Jordan 1 highs, and I really wanted them. So I would definitely grab a pair of these if I could get them at a reasonable price. Right now, going for like 150s, 160s, that's too much for me to spend on them. But I do think that they're definitely a cool shoe. But let me know what you think about them, and I'll catch you on the next one. I'm out.